What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast No Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Beyond Good and Evil 2. It seems like the game is still alive. I struggle to say alive and well, because I wouldn't necessarily say that, but things are moving in a somewhat positive way, and I want to talk about that in this video. So this comes from Tom Henderson. He did a report on the website that he works for, and he basically goes into two different aspects of this. So one is when they had their recent investor meeting, Ubisoft, okay? They were asked about what is coming in the future for games, and they basically responded with, well, that's confidential, we can't answer that, but we can say, again, the things we've already said. So the things that are still in the works that we have announced publicly that are still going on. And in that list, you have Avatar, you have Skull and Bones, Mario Rabbids, you have the whole list. You have the Star Wars game. Remember the Star Wars game they're going to be making? And then you have Beyond Good and Evil 2. So they name dropped it. Now, they have name dropped Skull and Bones for 5 years, which you could say, well, that's a good sign, right? Because Skull and Bones has been, been worked on for the last 5 years. So that alone obviously signals Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still happening. If it wasn't, you could very much argue they wouldn't have included it in that list. And then Tom says, according to his sources, that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is indeed still in development, and the game will be starting external playtesting this month. But then he goes on to say, well, look, just because there's doing playtests for this, we don't really know at what stage this game is. I mean, playtests for games can go on for years, right? It doesn't have to mean the game is 6 months out. It doesn't even have to mean the game is a year out. But at this point, I'd be willing to at least argue very heavily, right, that Beyond, it's like, I guess this would be more of an argument against people that say, oh, the game is canceled, the game's not happening. No, it seems like the game is definitely happening. I guess the second half, the whole idea that it's going to be play tested, that's a rumor that comes from Tom Henderson, so it's either you believe it or you don't. That's totally cool. But then you go, that first thing that Ubisoft includes it in its list of games, and it's like, okay, well, that probably does mean something. Again, maybe you think, well, yeah, of course they're going to say it, but I mean, if you're going to say it, I think it's real, right? Again, Skull and Bones, they kept mentioning it year after year after year, like, yes, the game is still happening, like, we announced it, and we're still working on it, and it was, maybe it was rebooted a couple times behind the scenes, as that's been reported, but it never, was outright shut down, and it's not like that happened. So hopefully one of these days we get Beyond Good and Evil 2. I think the rumor, based off of people like searching for job listings and people that have worked at for that game, this game may have been in the works or still is in the works for the last 9 years that this game has been happening. So that's an insanely long time. You could very much argue development hell, but hopefully over the next year or two maybe we can see something from it. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up, and I hope to see you all on tomorrow's video.